Hello, Nick here. And I got a new to me radio last week. Drake SW8. Some of you might have seen the little short video I did on it, just showing the sync. Actually, that video highlighted the sync, the bandwidths, and what I call poor man's passband tuning, where you tune off, 1 kilohertz or so to away from a strong signal. But anyway, if you didn't see it, it's only like a 2-minute video, so go back and watch it. My friend Dan and I were talking, and he was telling me how great this Drake is, SW8. And I have a Drake R8B, and it's an incredible radio. One of the best shortwave listening radios of all time. And I'm talking about all radios, all right? Anyway, I'm like, well, all right, that's proof Drake knows how to make radios, so let me check out this SW8. So I got it in. It's beautiful, works a treat, okay? You saw it in that video. It's awesome. I love it. But then I'm thinking, I've had this radio for about, years and years. 5, 7 years, maybe longer. I can't even remember. I don't use it much. And I'm like, let me whip this sucker out. And this radio came along after this radio. So this radio was probably, I'm guessing, I could go look it up, but I'm guessing, late 90s, early 2000s. My radio has a 1997 date code on it. I think they made them up into close to 2000 or maybe a little bit past 2000. And the first ones came out around 90 or 91, and I'm guessing here. But this came out much after that. So, but the point here I'm trying to show is, even though they don't look the same, this radio is this radio. It's identical. Obviously doesn't look identical, but Grundig, because this I think was the last Grundig that was really a Grundig before they sold out to China, okay? And they by that point, they must have been like, yeah, we don't want to make radios and design radios anymore. We already fired all our engineers or whatever. So they probably just went to Drake and said, hey, sell us the rights to do your SW8 in a different format, okay? And Drake's like, all right, we need some dough. We need some money. Go ahead. Here, write me a check. And here's what you get. All right, so when I'm going to come in and zoom, the features on both radios are identical. The bandwidths, 3 bandwidths, identical. Sync, identical. All right, the AM, FM, airband, shortwave, longwave, and the way they work, it's identical. The only couple small differences is that the squelch for airband is on the front on this radio, and on this radio it's in the back. And then this radio has a tone for like bass and treble in one button. It says tone. And then this one gives you a separate bass and treble button. Plus the fact that this one has this huge, incredible speaker on it, which makes it sound like you're at a rock concert. All right, it's totally awesome. All right, so that's a little bit different. And then you get this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful signal meter, huge and beautiful. But the tuning, the way the tuning works, the way the memories work, everything is identical, literally identical. So they're the same radio. And I've been spending the last 2 days trying to see if the sync on one was better than the sync on the other. But every time I tune into the same signal and I try the sync every which way on both radios, and they both perform the same on all signals. So basically what I'm saying is that it's a really, really good sync. But sync doesn't always work perfectly, okay? Sometimes there's just conditions or whatever that just aren't amenable to a sync. So anyway, But what I'm going to show here is just how the features between the two radios work really well. Well, they work really well, but I want to show how they're the same for both radios. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon in Dallas, Texas, so it's not the greatest time in the world for shortwave. I got my little ICOM up here with the scope, so we'll see if we can find some weaker signals that are close together, right? Hopefully, so we can see the selectivity of both radios. We already know the selectivity over here is pretty dang good, all right, from that little video I did the other day. And in my experimenting in the last 2 days, because I even forgot how this radio worked until I pulled it back out of mothballs after I got this radio, and this thing works as good as this one. So, and it sounds literally like you're at a concert, okay? This one doesn't sound bad. It's got a nice speaker. This got an incredible speaker. So anyway, let's just get in close to the table here so I can reach the actual radios. And we'll start. All right.
3. Vancouver, Vancouver, no report received. 3. Abbotsford, Abbotsford.
Got a Wellbrook.
Comox, no report received. Break. Victoria, Victoria, no report received.
Bandwidth.
Break. Terminal forecast, terminal forecast.
6, 4, 2.3. Same on the other radio.
No report received.
The only thing that this radio does that the other one doesn't do, because both radios are on batteries.
Vancouver.
When you put this radio on batteries and turn it on, even with fully charged batteries, you get the battery indicator. It's done that since it was new. In all the videos I've seen on other radios online, they do the same thing. So it must be a bug in the Grundig firmware or something. Anyway, so before we even go any further, let's address...
Trenton military out.
All right, so the guy goes off right when I'm ready to try to make a point. I'll explain it, and if we find another shortwave, or excuse me, sideband signal to listen to, maybe we can play with it. So this was Trenton military, 15034, upper sideband. You listen to it, sounds really nice. But, and I don't know how good of a job my iPhone microphone could do with this, it was not perfectly on frequency, all right? I'm talking dead balls nuts, perfectly, absolutely perfect frequency where the sound is not too high or too low or whatever. And that's being super anal. But, I mean, I got all these other radios that do it. So, anyway, the tuning resolution on both radios is only 100 hertz. So that's the first decimal place. So there's your first problem. You can't tune the radio to be perfect. You literally can't. At the indicated signal, 15034.0, it sounded very nice, but to an ear that has heard what the signal is supposed to sound like when it's perfectly on frequency, it was just slightly high. I'm talking, if I had a guess, I'd say it was 10 hertz. It might even have been 5 hertz high, all right? 0.05 or maybe 0.1, all right? 0.05 probably. And if you turn it down to 39, that was too low because it's supposed to be at 99 or 9095 or something like that. You can't tune it between these, between 4.0 and 3.9. The on frequency position is somewhere between there, and the resolution of the dial can't get you where you need to be perfect. All right, totally usable, totally fine. A lot of people might never even notice it, all right? I noticed it. Same thing with this radio. You might have heard it when I had it briefly on here. This one seems to be off slightly more. So if this one seems to be off, let's see, 0.05, what is that? Is that 50? Yeah, that's 50 hertz, 30 hertz. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing here. But it's the same problem here. And this one sounds like it might be off slightly more, but it's still off between the two numbers. So 4.0 is too high, 3.9 is too low. So the happy spot is somewhere in the middle, and you can't get it with the dial. But it's perfectly usable, everything is perfectly usable about it. It's just if, you know, I keep using that phrase, if you were toilet trained at gunpoint, you can't sit still for that. It's like, oh my God, this thing is off. I might as well throw this radio away. All right. But that's not really what this radio is designed for. In fact, I read online that Drake only guaranteed the dial accuracy to be within 0.1, which is 100 hertz. Well, the actual accuracy is less than half that. So it's well within the guarantee of the radio. It's just that you can't tune it to, you know, if I could had one more decimal place after the decimal point, yeah, maybe we could tune it better, but and we could see what the actual offset was. I also heard from my friend Dan, there's an adjustment in the bottom of this radio. If you were really, really, really bugged about it, you could go in there and there's a little potentiometer that you could adjust to make it be absolutely perfect. You'd have to fiddle with it. I may or may not do that, all right? Because, I mean, it's so close and it sounds so great. And you really only notice it on sideband, which I rarely listen to. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. But both radios have it exactly identical, all right? The 4.0 is slightly too high, 3.9 slightly too low. But anyway. Oops, this is the one we're on the antenna. Yeah, so here's the antenna switch for the Wellbrook. Left is the Drake. Center is this one. Right is the Icon. All right, we're on this one. Antenna's on here. Let's find something else. Actually, we should probably use the Icon to try to find something. All right, 15.140, kind of a weak thing with some nasty-ass heterodyne in there. All right, let's see if we can do something with that. All right, we'll start with the SW. So to tune this one, oh, there is that's one of the other things is that this one has a function button and this one does not have a function button. So this one, you have to hit the function before you can tune. What are we at? 15.140. Then double press on the period, on the dot, same as on this one. All right. So let's go back to AM. Band 6 kilohertz. Let's drop the bandwidth a little. 4. Still a nasty heterodyne in there, making life miserable. Let's hit the sync and see what happens. All right, we're on sync lower. Let's hit sync upper. No difference. All right, that's just something in the atmosphere or whatever that's just making this signal not fun to play with today. Let's see. This will probably handle it the same way. So let's flip the antenna and see the meter come alive. All right, bandwidth 6. Hit sync. And we were on sync. There's no sync there. There's sync, locked, lower. Locked upper. Yeah, just as nasty as the other radios. So that's not really a happy signal today to listen to. So let's try and find something else. I'm up here on the ICOM. I don't know, in case you guys want to see what I'm doing. All right, so 580 is real weak. 610 is pretty strong. So let's try them both. All right. $15, $610 is the strong one.
Somebody who's close.
Let's open the bandwidth.
There's no way the saints are going to be envious of the Blessed Mother.
Sounds beautiful.
The closest one to Jesus, or that Saint Joe is.
Don't even need sync.
Next in line. At the same time,
4.
we don't want people to be satisfied with the lowest common denominator. Oh, I just barely got into the pearly gates.
2.3.
You want to willingly and aggressively pursue the life of holiness.
Mother Angelica said, don't aim for purgatory.
Upper.
That's right.
If you miss, the consequences are bad.
Yes, because you missed that exit, forget it.
Lower.
833-288-EWTN, that's our toll-free number, 833-288-3986. Does the church...
That little hum or whine in the background won't go away.
Over time, Gus.
All right, let's try this one. $15, $610.
Dogmas or doctrines could be explained in a different way to make them more understandable so that people can appreciate them.
No sync, 6 kilohertz.
Like the dogma of the
Sounds the same except for a smaller speaker.
The dogma of the real presence,
Bandwidth.
These are things which will never change. They will always be there, but our appreciation
It's identical
of them
to the other radio.
Be tweaked, can be enhanced.
Sync's not helping at all here with that humming whine.
For that particular generation. But, like Revelation ended with the death of St. John.
All right. What was the other
divine revealed truth
signal?
is there. It's just that the church will...
I'm looking up at the ICOM here. It was 15,580. Okay.
And Sam wants to know, is it true that the particles left by the Eucharist are no longer important?
No sync, 6 kilohertz. Trying to get that glare out of there. Oh well, I have to live with it. Four kilohertz. I'm setting the Grundig up to be identical. All I gotta do is flip the switch. All right. Settings are already set. I'm gonna flip the switch. Other than this beautiful, huge, awesome speaker, everything's the same. They sound the same. I mean, this obviously sounds a lot better just because of the speaker. But if you're using it as a portable, you got to carry this twice the size radio around. So there's, you know, there's a price to pay for that. But no, it sounds identical. So let's see. All right, let's go back to the ICOM and try and find something else.
I drew a sword and smote a servant of the...
All right, 15,770.
The very first thing you gotta do is realize that it is promised to us.
Sync.
The Word of God. That it is part of your salvation. It's not something that God's just going to give good to you.
Upper was a little less staticky.
This is given to you.
Listen to that while I change the Drake.
Well, that's because we are living in a world full of emotions and our thoughts and our minds. And guess what? They don't connect to the Spirit of God either. Our spirit. So the way we start to have more of the love and the joy and the peace and the fruit of the Spirit unlocked in our hearts, because the very first key unlocking the fruit of the Spirit.
Get ready here.
Now that it is promised to you. Draw near to God.
The hell was that?
He will draw near to you. Again, I'm going to rephrase it. It didn't say, just go around your own business, and when God feels like it, he'll draw near to you. No, this is good. The drawing near is a promise. He's already given us every ability to come to him. He's already given us the ability. He's given us the Word of God. He's given us the ability.
Oh, I know what it is. When I turn the antenna on when the sync is already on, that's why it does it. So turn antenna off. Turn the antenna on. See that sync off? It's fine. Turn the sync on. Now it's locked. Yeah, that was the sync acting weird because I was using it improperly.
Pray, you know, every day and read the Word of God every day, you know? All you have to do is start with 5 minutes a day. Let's start with something. Do something you can do.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the icon, see if there's anything else to listen to. Oh, let's try, let's see if there's, what do you call it? Those maritime mobile guys. I don't hear them.
A 3/8 wave on 40, I think. A 43 foot is a good length, but you know it's hard to get a mast 43 foot long. So I just tag a wire up there.
All right, 14,315. Listen how this perfectly on frequency. All right, now listen to this Drake. I mean the Grundig.
About any state park, anywhere, actually. But anyways, good talking to you, Buzz. And I'll see you later. N4TAT.
Great, he signs off. Damn. Bastard.
Okay, Buzz.
Oh, here he
we'll
is.
See you later. Was there a Delta Delta? WW5DD, yeah, big signal. Big signal.
All right, let's try this. 14,315.
Oh, which Tar Heel is it, Don? You know, I want a Tar Heel. I can't afford it. I saw where, what's his name? I met him at Stone Mountain Amfest many years ago.
See, 14.9, 9 too low,
I don't know how it's
15 too high.
He's got that Bubba Tar Heel freight. Redone with a year guarantee.
This one's a lot closer.
They don't make that one anymore. It's the big one, you know, the Bubba. I think he called it the Bubba Tar Heel. Over.
Anyway, all right, we'll go deaf trying to chase these guys around. Let's try long wave, and then I'll cut you loose. 0.365. No, I think you got to be in. How do I put this in? See, it says shortwave. I think I got to go down to like AM mode or long wave mode or something. AM, air, FM, AM. All right, let's try this. There it is. .341 was a really hard one to get. A lot of bleed through. All right, so it's 14:20. All right, it's 22 after the hour. I think we might be able to catch a vomit. Let's try it. 10:51. There it is.
Feeling 2,000 broken. 4,000 between 1,000 and 2,000. Wind 1,000. 330 degrees, 12 knots, gusting 22 knots, visibility more than 6 miles, feeling 6,000 and 0.
All right, let's try this one real quick. So this one is off more than the Grundig. You can hear it. But if I got motivated, I could open up the bottom like my buddy Dan was telling me maybe and get in there and mess around with a screwdriver. If that bugs me enough to get motivated to do that. I'm not sure it does, but anyway, I'm very happy with this. So let me put off the tripod here and show you one of the reasons I got the SW8 in the first place. So if you watch any of my non-radio videos, you'll notice that I'll shoot rifles out at my friend's ranch out in kind of rural Texas. He has a lot of acreage in like central Texas, 1,000 acres, far away from everything. And I'm like, all right, well, let me see if I can bring a portable radio or two, and then something. So I got this, but now I've got this. But I also wanted to bring some antennas, some easy antenna options that are easy to set up and take down. So I've got an end-fed long wire, and I spooled it on this roll, and you can see it got this little box at the bottom. It's either a Ballon or an unknown. I don't know. Let's see if I can show you what it is. LNR Precision. This company sold out to another company, and I think that company sold out to another company. But I think this radio is still being this antenna is still being produced. So you just got this little box with 50 feet of wire, and then they give you a connector to run a coax to your radio. And then the other radio is right there. It's right here. And I got this on one of those speaker stands. It's a Bonito Mega Active Whip. All right. 9 hertz to 300 megahertz. And all it is a little rubber ducky. And it goes onto this box, and then you run a piece of coax from here to your radio. And then with the speaker stand, I can run that thing up, and I've even got an extension piece of PVC that can go in there. And then I could probably get that little Mega Active Whip up 15, maybe even 20 feet off the ground if I need to. I mean, if you're out that far in the middle of nowhere and it's really quiet, I don't know how high you need to get it. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to experiment with that. Bring 2 or maybe 3, decent portable radios that can take advantage of, super quiet environment. And see how they do. But anyway, I'm very happy with this. Always been happy with this. I didn't know they were basically the same radio. So now, in case you didn't know, now you know. So knowing now what I know, would I have bought this knowing that I had the same exact radio already? I don't know. Maybe not. Because they're literally identical, except this one sounds better. But it's bigger, right? You got to deal with the extra bulk. So, and they both have real nice whips, all right? This one you pull out and then you can angle it and put it up. And they both work great on their whips too. And they got the airband. The airbands work great. All that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what's been going on here. All right. Thanks for hanging out.